what's going on, everybody? Welcome inside fitnessinformant.com, Fitness Informant's YouTube channel. I'm Fitness Informant founder and CEO Ryan Buckeye. I want to thank you for stopping by to check out 100% honest, no bullshit review of Purge Sports Pre version 2 pre-workout. Today we're going to talk about Purge Sports pre-workout version 2 on 5 different categories. First, we're going to talk to you guys about the profile on this. What is in this product, and is it dosed correctly? Second, we're going to talk about the effectiveness. Third, we're going to talk about the flavor and taste. Fourth, we're going to talk about mixability, as well as show you a mixability test here on camera. And then finally, we're going to talk about value of the pre-workout. So let's dive into Purge Sports pre-workout version 2. This is actually split up into 3 different complexes. The first complex is your pump and nutrient absorption complex. We start with 6 grams of 2:1 citrulline malate. Now, citrulline you want dose between 3 and 5. So at 2:1 ratio in citrulline malate, at 6 grams, we're getting 4 grams of citrulline to 2 grams malic acid. This is going to be a good dosage. This is actually going to be a precursor to essentially arginine and nitric oxide in the body that's going to help enhance and improve muscle pumps. The next ingredient dosed at 2 grams is Arginine Akg. Now, the one issue with exogenous arginine is that it has really poor absorption rate. So typically you like to see this dose higher if you're actually going to have things happen in a pre-workout. So we're not a huge fan of arginine in any pre-workout. It's kind of an aged, dated out ingredient. 2 grams, if it actually absorbed well, would be a sufficient dosage of that, but in today's day and age, based on recent studies, arginine really does not necessarily have a huge place within the pre-workout world. You want to use an ingredient like citrulline that is a precursor to arginine, or a different ingredient like nitrosogene, which also is a bonded version of arginine, which has better absorption rates. So, albeit it's a good ingredient once upon a time, today's day and age, you could do without arginine. The next ingredient dosed at 1,500 milligrams is Hydra Max. This is a form of glycerol. What this actually does is basically turns your muscles into a sponge, so that way the water that gets pushed into your muscles gets held there, so that way you can sustain a pump over the duration of time. Now, this is dosed at 1.5 grams. It's fine. I actually like between 3 and 5 grams of Hydra Max or glycerol in general, and typically you find it in a non-stimulant pump product. In a pre-workout, 1,500 milligrams is probably going to be acceptable. You might see it as high as 2, maybe 3, depending on the manufacturer and the brand. But at 1,500 milligrams, it's not insufficient. It's just not super sufficient either. Taurine is dosed at 1 gram. Taurine is used for strength output. It also helps regulate your electrolytes within your body. So when you talk about your electrolytes, like being hydrated and having proper electrolytes, that's going to lead to prolonged endurance, which can lead to output in strength. This is dosed correctly at 1 gram. Ornithine hydrochloride is dosed at 500 milligrams. Now, this ingredient itself has been shown to increase strength and power output, but at a higher dosage. A minimum of 2 grams of ornithine is really what we look for in the product. 2 to 5 grams is kind of what we see. So at 500 milligrams, you really don't get a whole lot of ornithine in this product, in which is going to do anything of substantial momentum for you. The last ingredient is 50 milligrams of estrogen. Estrogen is a form of a nutrient absorption complex, so this is actually a really good ingredient. It's actually one that we really believe in here at FI, and it helps absorb the nutrients in which is in this profile and which is in this container. So there are very similar ingredients like biopurin, which is a black pepper extract. I prefer estrogen. 50 milligrams is the proper dosage. So overall, the pump and nutrient absorption complex is dosed fairly well. I could do without arginine, and we would need more ornithine in the actual dosage. The next is the energy and endurance complex. We start with 3.2 grams of beta-alanine. This is going to be your typical dosage of beta-alanine. Beta-alanine does 2 things. One, it can provide you that itchy feeling that you sometimes get when you take beta-alanine, but more so it provides a prolonged endurance and strength output aspect of the pre-workout. The next ingredient is Betaine Anhydrous at 1,500 milligrams. Now, this is actually at 98%, so slightly below 1,500 milligrams. The dosage we want is 1,500 milligrams to 2,500 milligrams, so this actually comes in right at about the bottom end of that, which is going to be acceptable. Again, at 98%, you're actually just a little bit below 1,500 milligrams, but very close. This helps with power and strength output. It can also help with muscle recovery as well. Caffeine anhydrous is dosed at 325 milligrams, and they also use dicaffeine malate at 50 milligrams. Now, collectively, that's 375 milligrams. You're actually going to yield just a little bit less than that because dicaffeine malate doesn't yield the full 50 milligrams. Very, very big on caffeine. So it's below the 400 milligrams, which is what I like. I think anything over 400 milligrams is just a waste of time. So you have 375 approximately of 2 forms of caffeine. Caffeine anhydrous is going to be the one that's going to hit hard right away. And then you have that dicaffeine malate, which is going to help you essentially avoid the crash as it actually tempers off from the workout. So overall, the energy and endurance complex is well dosed across the board. Good forms of caffeine. I like the 2 forms of caffeine that I would actually put in my own pre-workout, so I'm a big fan of the energy and endurance complex. The last complex on this is the Neuro complex, which has 750 milligrams of L-tyrosine, dosed a little bit on the low end. I'd like to see this at a minimum of 1 gram. Tyrosine is a cognitive enhancing ingredient which helps with memory and brain function overall. There's different forms of tyrosine like null tyrosine, and then there's a pure tyrosine like this. So if this was null, 750 might be more acceptable, but since this is pure L-tyrosine, I'd like to see it at least at 1 gram. The next ingredient at 200 milligrams is Urea Gerensis. This is a phenomenal ingredient. I like to see it between 200 and 250 milligrams. This is dosed right there. This is going to be one of the better focus enhancing ingredients that you can get in a pre-workout. Now, it's not acceptable everywhere. You can't have EJ in every country, but here in America, it's super nice to have, and you're definitely going to feel it. You'll see, you'll actually experience an increase in cognitive ability if you supplement with EJ, Urea Gerensis, and at 200 milligrams, it's going to be a great dosage. The last ingredient is Arginine hydrochloride at 75 milligrams. This is actually on the higher end of Arginine. Typically, we see this dose around 50 milligrams. It does a couple things. When it coupled with caffeine, it can also stimulate fat loss. It also helps with improved focus, hence why you find it in the focus aspect of this pre-workout. So I think the energy, endurance, and the focus complex on this is really solid. The pump is decent too, with a couple ingredients that you could probably remove. Overall, this is a good profile at 25 servings. It really hits on all factors, right? You get pump, energy, endurance, strength, and focus. Very well balanced pre-workout, something that looks good on paper and something that translates well into the gym. In terms of effectiveness, you get good energy, you get good pumps, you get good focus, really good focus. And your endurance and strength is right there too. You have good forms of caffeine that's going to provide a nice quick hit energy in caffeine anhydrous. It's going to be euphoric energy throughout your workout. Urea Gerensis, tyrosine, Arginine in the Neuro factor complex works really well to improve your focus. And then you also have like your citrulline malates, and then you have your Hydra Max within that pump complex, which citrulline malate is going to help push blood into the muscles. Hydra Max is going to keep that water in the muscles and push that nutrient-rich blood into the muscles. So overall, you're going to get, like I said, good pumps, you're going to get good focus, you're going to get good energy. One thing to note that the pump complex is going to fight a little bit against the energy complex, like forms of caffeine. Arginine can constrict blood flow just a little bit, but there's nothing in this like DMAA or yohimbine, which is really going to restrict blood flow, so you still get really good pumps from Purge Sports Pre-Workout version 2. In terms of taste, we had Pineapple Express. I wasn't sure what to expect at first, right? Pineapple Express, really funny movie. It's a really good flavor. It's a little sweet, so if you like sweet stuff, you're going to really like this. It is kind of tropical. We are fans of that. Surprised us. Actually, exceeded our expectations in terms of flavor, but at the end of the day, when you look at Purge Sports and you look at that plethora of product catalogs, they have really good flavors across the board, so it's not surprising that it's an enjoyable flavor. It's refreshing, and it's different than what's out there. I've had different forms of pineapple before. Didn't really like them. This one we definitely enjoyed. In terms of mixability, what's cool about this product is it's a 20-gram serving size. It's a massive serving size, albeit they want you to mix it up in 12 to 16 ounces of water, which is quite a bit more than your 4 to 6 that you see. But the reason why they want you to do that is because if you mix 20 grams of powder in 4 to 6 ounces of liquid, it's not going to mix. So here on camera, you'll see us mixing it in the actual amount we're supposed to be mixing it in. It mixes really well. We were actually surprised by how well it mixed. Granted, again, more water. So there are a lot of people out there like, well, I like to chug my pre-workout in like 3 gulps. Well, do you want a good pre-workout, or do you want a pre-workout that you can chug in 3 gulps, right? That's my feedback to that. So in this case, use a little bit more water. Make sure it mixes up well. You can still drink it super quick. You can drink it 15, 20 minutes before you go to the gym, and it should kick in and be super effective. In terms of value, here's one thing to note about Purge Sports in general. They price their products on their .com to encourage you to walk into a supplement shop locally to buy their products. What I mean by that is this is priced at $60 on their website for 25 servings. I guarantee a lot of people watching this video are like, that is expensive, that is insane, I would not buy that. And you're probably right? We do have a coupon code Informant that'll save you 20%, which is going to knock off $12. So at $48, you get 25 servings. That is definitely doable. That's less than $2 a serving. I think it's acceptable. A lot of people out there do the math in their head like $2 a serving. This product is definitely worth $48 with our coupon code Informant to save 20% off. Now, in a brick and mortar store or your local supplement shop, you're actually going to get this product right around $36, at least as low as $36, because that's how the pricing model works. Purge Sports prices their products high on their website because they want you to walk into that local supplement shop. So value in terms of, is this thing worth it? It's worth the $48 with our coupon code that we can provide you. Again, that's Informant. It's definitely worth the $36 you're going to spend at your local supplement shop. So depending if you have a local supplement shop that carries Purge Sports or not, could determine whether or not how much of a value this is. But at the end of the day, you can buy this online for $48 for 25 servings. It's an effective pre-workout. It works well. It tastes great and has a great profile. It's definitely worth it. To read this whole written review, go ahead in the description below and click the link. That'll take you to our website so you can read the in-depth breakdown of each ingredient and what we think of this product. Again, that coupon code below is there, Informant, to save 20% off, as well as the link to take you directly to their website to purchase the product. Make sure you're following us on all of our social media channels. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe now button here below to stay up to date with all new pre-workout reviews, Purge Sports reviews, and reviews across the plethora of the spectrum of pre-workouts and sports nutrition. We have a podcast. It's called Be Informed, Live Fit. You can subscribe to that on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, right here on YouTube, Stitcher, featuring amazing guests like Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman, Branch Warren, and Ashley Horner. And for this full in-depth review, other reviews from Purge Sports, and all reviews across sports nutrition, huge supplement deals, rankings, news, fitness articles, fitness routines, and nutrition plans, visit us online. We're at fitnessinformant.com.